Howdy folks, welcome back to Cray Outdoors. Currently we are at Jonathan Dickinson State Park and we are heading up Hobe Mountain to check that out. Show you real quick what a Florida mountain looks like. So that's Hobe Mountain, that's where we're going. This is apparently one of the highest elevations in the whole area though, so by the standards down here, this is a mountain. Well, here we are now at the top of Hobe Mountain, as you can see behind me. So it's interesting, definitely pretty up here. And it's not as spectacular as the overlooks back home, but still pretty cool. So this Jonathan Dickinson State Park that you see behind me, it's actually pretty similar. Obviously it's a totally different environment than Alligator State Park, but it's pretty similar to Alligator State Park in terms of the size of it and the amount of things to do. I think it's like 40,000 acres or something like that. It's a pretty darn big state park, and it's got lakes and ponds and a river that goes through it. Apparently it's decent fishing, tons of camping, picnicking, hiking, all that kind of stuff. So I'm excited to check it out. From the top of Hobe Mountain, very pretty up there. I don't know how well my video came out because it was pretty windy, so I might just do like a B-roll thing. It's almost like a little slice of Alligator State Park in my backyard, even though it's obviously a totally different environment. This is what they call the Florida scrub habitat. It's like this sort of like a deserty landscape, similar to the Albany Pine Barrens, if any of you have ever been there in upstate New York. But yeah, it's this very dry, like more similar to like a desert than a tropical type place that I sort of envisioned when I came to Florida, but still very pretty, still very cool. You can see even from below the observation deck, still a pretty darn good view here. This is one of the highest elevations in the whole area. Down there's the Atlantic Ocean and the Indian River Lagoon and Jupiter Island in the middle. Down here somewhere is the city of Jupiter, Florida. So yeah, cool place. And out here is Jonathan Dickinson State Park in the scrub habitat. Kind of looks like, I don't know, I don't even know how to describe it. Looks like something out of the Lion King or something. Alrighty folks, well, we hiked the trail, we checked out the visitor center, we checked out Hobe Mountain. Finally time to get out on the kayak here and see what we can catch. This is going to be my first time ever fishing brackish water. The Indian River Lagoon's kind of brackish water, but it's closer to salt water. This is like brackish water that's kind of closer to fresh water. So there's the potential to catch freshwater species and I think saltwater species today. So it should be interesting. Like one end of Jonathan Dickinson State Park is freshwater, the other end is mainly saltwater, and right where we're launching the kayak in between is really, really brackish. So it'll be interesting to see what we can catch. I've got both freshwater stuff and saltwater stuff with me, and we'll see what we can do. Pretty in through here. Loxahatchee River is basically just a mangrove forest. Kind of frustrating paddling actually. You're just zigzagging. I mean, like right over there is the river still. We got to go around this corner and it just zigzags the whole way. So we've only traveled, I mean, we've paddled about a mile now, but we've only traveled like not even a quarter of a mile just because we've just been going back and forth in the zigzags. Might paddle up this little creek. This time of year in the spring, at least in western New York. I have no idea how it works here in Florida, but in New York State, the smaller tributaries of these larger rivers, the water tends to warm up quicker, so it's usually a better fishing spot early on in the spring. Granted, in Florida it goes from, 70 degrees to 80 and 90, during the summer, instead of New York where it goes from 30 degrees to 50 in the spring. But kind of nice going out here into this little channel and getting out of the chaos of the main river. So many boats going by. I mean, this connects to the ocean, so you got a bunch of marinas and stuff upstream. So during Florida's busy season, like right now, it's just a lot of boat traffic. Howdy, folks. I just had another somewhat close call with an alligator. Holy cow. I think I'm sitting here rigging my stuff. Look how close he is. That thing is so close. I didn't get the reaction this time on film. I just screamed like a girl. That came even closer to me than the last time. That thing literally came even closer to me than the last time when I was in the Everglades and that alligator went after my fish. Even right now, he's about as close as he was when the alligator went after my fish in the Everglades. I don't know what he wants with me. It's actually starting to make me nervous, so I'm going to get out of here. I was re-rigging my pole and not paying any attention, and I just looked to my left, and I mean, he was right there. Right freaking there. Alright, buddy, I'm going to get out of here because you're making me nervous. I don't know, guys, this alligator's actually starting to make me kind of nervous. I don't know if he thinks he's gonna get food from me, or if he thinks I'm food, or maybe he's just curious. He definitely seems to be following, he or she definitely seems to be following me around. I mean, if the thing wanted to attack me, it definitely would have when it was right there. So, I don't know. I don't know why he's following me. This is so cool in through here. I love this. It's so peaceful out here. Again, not like the main Loxahatchee River channel. Unfortunately, I just wish the fishing was better. Follow up. I don't want to eat it though. No, dang it. Well, I don't know what I just missed. I'm pretty sure it was a gar. Pretty sure it was a gar, and that's why the hook didn't set. They got them long, bony mouths. Well, folks, I realize I've got an even bigger problem. Apparently, when I tied on that lure, I never put it through the front thingy on here. Oh my Lanta! Now my reel's all messed up. Fortunately, I haven't been making super long casts. I can't cast super far in here, obviously. So hopefully, once we get back out in the main river, I can take a long cast, and that'll fix the problem. There we go. No, 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 no. I cannot hook these things. They've got to be gar. These have got to be my gar. I want to catch a gar, man. I want to catch a gar. Ugh. That one sort of set the hook into itself. That's not how it's supposed to work. Just got on a weedless twister tail now. That was one. Finally got one to commit. We found a pattern, hopefully. No! Gosh dang it! I cannot keep these things hooked. Oh man, guys. Man, this is so frustrating. Gar are so frustrating, man. This isn't my first rodeo with them. I've had rodeos with them back home in Chautauqua County too, long-nosed gar. I don't know what kind of gar these are. These might be, in Florida, there's like a bunch of different kinds of gar. We pretty much just have long-nosed back in western New York. In Florida, they got giant alligator gar and Florida gar and long-nosed gar, all kinds of fun stuff. my tail. Grabbed it right in front of me. There's so many different. This one I don't think is a gar. This one looks like a little baby snook, and I missed it. And a towel. I can't do it anymore. Getting dark. We gotta get out of here. Well, we're on a school of fish back there. But the problem is we're like a solid 45 minutes from the car. It's getting late, so we've got to start heading back. I missed at least 3 different gar and a little baby snook. I think it was a baby snook. I don't know what it was. It looked like a baby snook. You know, there's so many fish in Florida. I don't know what's what yet. But yeah, definitely had action back in there. Just couldn't hook one. All right, I'm in the area that Mr. Alligator was in. I don't see him, and that's scary. I'd like to keep track of where he's at, because he did not have any fear of me. Guys, I successfully called it an owl for the first time ever. Check it out. There he is. Finally, I called it an owl, man. I tried the whole time I lived at Alligator State Park. I was trying to call in owls, and it was unsuccessful. I heard him call. I called back. Sure enough, there he is. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Beautiful owl. Definitely the closest I've been to an owl outside of the car. He came flying right in, man. Oh, man, unfortunately I turned the camera off. I don't think I captured him flying in, but he definitely came right in here to investigate whoever it was that called. He's looking too. He's ticked off. Oh, how neat. Well, as much as I want to, you know, cherish this moment of being underneath of a tree in the middle of the Florida wilderness that has an owl, we've got to move on. I've got to continue on my way back because it's getting dark. The fact that the owl came out just, you know, shows how dark it's getting. It's so cool. Oh my goodness. I can't believe I just did that, guys. I cannot believe I called it a freaking owl. Alright, well today's going to be an interesting video. We just need to catch a dang fish now to round it off, man. I had the alligator incident. I called it an owl. I've got a bunch of misses on film. Let's get a fish on film. Alright, well, we made it back to the Loxahatchee River. We had our run-ins with fish and wildlife up in Kitching Creek. Now, let's start fishing our way back. We're just going to get into the current and just cast the mangroves. I seem to have figured out a pattern, man. I think we're looking at the jerkbait. They were looking at the kale lures. Finally found something that they're hitting, just a classic old twister tail. That's... Again, I'm applying a lot of what I know in Western New York to fishing here in Florida, and it's working. I mean, if there's ever a pike or a walleye or something that's being finicky in Western New York, a lot of times if you downsize to a classic twister tail, it's the way to get them to bite, and that seems to be working here in Florida too, I guess. Pretty sunset. Unfortunately, we are still shut out as of right now. Ugh. Goes Mr. Osprey. Sunset's really getting pretty now. Well, shut out for the second day in a row. So I realized after editing the video that I never really made an outro. It's like a month later. I just happened to be wearing the exact same shirt today. Unfortunately, we didn't end up catching any fish that day, but I hope you guys still enjoyed the video. At least we got some footage of the great outdoors, and it is cray outdoors after all. The tips that I gave in this video are going to be very, very relevant to those of you Western New Yorkers. Now's the time of year that the lower end of where, you know, a smaller river goes into a bigger river. The lower end of that smaller river, that's where you're going to want to be targeting fish right now, because
the smaller river is going to warm up first, so the fish that we're hunkering down in the big river during the winter are going to move up the smaller river. You get the idea. And white twister tails also are very, very effective this time of year back home in western New York. So there's a tip for you. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to subscribe. Hopefully in the next video we actually catch some fish.